United Arab Emirates is my country, is the country of my children. And it's not only for me. I tell people or entrepreneurs or fresh graduates from all around the world who want to pursue a dream.
Yeah.
This is the land of opportunity. Forget what you hear about the US and here and there. This is the real land of opportunity today. You have the first class infrastructure. You have the most supportive rulers around the world, sitting and really dedicating their life and their time how to serve people, how to serve the youth, how to serve entrepreneurs, how to serve businesses.
So it's a new day and yet another episode of Tell Me Why. As we move along and bring you more topics on the show, we've tackled so many things so far. So we've done health and well-being, we've done social issues, we've done a bit of psychology on our show as well. And today we're going to talk business. And today's episode is special because it's also the kickoff of a new series within our Tell Me Why podcast, which is Get to Know the CEO. And joining me today is Toufic Kreidieh, who's the executive chairman and the group CEO of BFL Group, also known as Brands for Less Group. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Maria, for hosting me. It's a great pleasure to be with you here today. And I think you're one of the first people who spells my name correctly from the first time.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a really good start for us. Awesome. So, Toufic, we've seen you on social media. You have such a fun side. You have a wonderful smile. You have, I want to say this at the very beginning of the show because this is not paid. I was not paid to say this.
Okay.
But having gone to your office twice, just twice, I could tell that your employees and the people in the building are all working towards the same goal.
That's true.
That is so rare to find, where you feel like the employees in one office are like one big family. They have an understanding. They're in sync. They're actually happy, genuinely happy to be there. And I think that's a reflection of your management. And we see that on social media. And look at that smile, that bright smile.
Thank you
That
so much.
must change people's lives and
you.
change people's days and your employees' days. So honestly, props, and I applaud you for that.
Thank you so much.
And this is not paid.
No,
I am
really,
saying
thank you.
this because
I'm really honored with this
I
words.
appreciated
Thank you so much.
it. Massively appreciated it, and I could tell from just going 2 times.
Thank you.
People's feedback, the way people feel, the way people greet you, it's a true reflection of your personality and your management style.
Thank
you. We've seen your fun side. We know that you are the group CEO of BFL, and you're the brains behind it, basically. We want to take a step back a little, and we want to get to know you first. So this is something that I don't think you've done before.
We've done on different occasions.
Okay.
In small parts, but you're more than welcome to ask whatever you like.
Okay, so we're going to start from the very beginning. Tell us about your childhood. Tell us about growing up. Like, where did you grow up? Tell us about your childhood, where you grew up, that kind of thing.
Okay, I just want to comment on the introduction that you have made.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm really flattered. And, it's not me and my vision, and it's a collective effort that's being put by each and every individual in this company.
Mm-hmm.
We have tried to create this culture. We call it family. And at the end of the day, we treat people as part of the family. We incentivize our people, whereby once at the end of the year, all targets have been met, everyone is sharing the fruits of the success. We always try to remind our people or new joiners that they are not only joining a company, they are joining a family.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we are all on the same boat. We are one team looking for victory. And the victory is not an individual victory, it's a group victory.
Precisely. And that was beautifully put.
Thank you.
And that also, I mean, in a way, it comes full circle.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the chicken or the egg. So
Yeah.
what you're doing is feeding into that, and then the people also feel like a family, so then they're giving back, and so on and so forth, and that's how it keeps going.
And
beautiful.
regarding the smile, everything in Brands for Less is about the smile. You will see it reflected in the logo. You will see it reflected in our slogan.
That's true.
Is smile, you just paid less. You will see it on the outfits of the employees. You will see it everywhere you go. At the end of the day, there is a message behind it. We want happy customers coming out after going through a shopping experience that is unique. At the same time, going out believing and getting convinced that they are happy because they went through a smart shopping.
Right.
And they have saved money to buy branded products.
That's amazing. So they have a sense of achievement as they leave, which also puts a greater
It
smile.
is a treasure hunt. You know, by nature, we are treasure hunters. We are hunters by nature. You know, we used to fetch food since the day we came to this planet. So today we fetch and we hunt. And by nature, we are hunters. So creating this treasure hunt experience was really going with the nature of a human being. And we are there to really feed this hunt.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay, so let's dive into your childhood then.
Yes.
Tell us about yourself. Where did you grow up and how was your childhood like?
I'm a very simple person who was born in Beirut, Lebanon, in the year of 1971. Was a little bit unlucky in the view of others, whereby a child that was born, he was 4 years old and the country went into a civil war. I was a little bit unfortunate during my childhood. We didn't have money at all. But, you know, for me, education was a very important thing. And I pursued my education to the last, finishing my school and then going to university. I had to start working since I was a child because of my family situation.
Right.
You know, all of these inconveniences or misfortune that people look at it today is somehow a very lucky thing to happen to people, to shape their personality, to create this strength inside you, to create this perseverance of changing facts and changing your life in the future.
Of course. And do you feel like that contributed to your vision and to maybe the concept that you came up with? Do you feel like that factored in to
100%.
your business idea that
100%.
You made grow?
You know, the business idea, the first thing came to the business idea was how we can, me and my partner Yasser Baidoun. By the way, Yasser Baidoun is my best friend.
Okay.
He's my partner, he's my brother, he's my soulmate, he's everything.
Okay.
And we started this business together, we grew this business together, and we are there to maintain this friendship. And today, people think BFL is only Brands for Less. Actually, for me and him, it's best friends for life.
Oh,
and this is the abbreviation of BFL, and which is something I say for the first time, maybe.
Amazing.
Yes, and it's a story of two best friends that wanted to change their social, their financial situation, and to really create something out of nothing. And our plan was in the future is whatever we're going to make, we're going to give back to the society and we're going to help the community around us. And that's what has took place with time. So at the beginning, going back to the idea of the business, the first box to be ticked was what business can we start with the minimum investment possible. Me and him, we were just fresh graduates.
Okay.
We were employees for different type of companies in different countries. And at the beginning, we said how much we can save on the side. And the money that we had saved was only $10,000 at that time.
Wow.
And we had to go and start our first store back in 1996 in Beirut in an underground parking with $10,000. This was the start.
Wow. And how did you put it together? I mean,
the idea, of course, we did not reinvent the wheel. This business was already existing in the United States. During one of our visits to the United States, we saw the concept there. We really said, this is really missing in our part of the world. Let's take this idea and bring it to our part of the world and introduce this off-price, as we call it, off-price channel.
The concept of outlets and that kind of thing.
It's a little bit, it's more of off-price.
Okay.
Usually an outlet is more of a certain brand or certain representative of brands trying to clear out what is remaining in their stock.
Okay.
Off-price is a company or a retail concept that is dedicated and geared into sourcing merchandise to sell it at discounted prices.
Okay. That's very important. Thank you for clarifying that, because I think people don't know the difference.
No, people don't know the difference. People think that, a off-price channel is outlet. It's not an outlet.
Exactly.
Outlet is when you are in regular retail and you need, and where the name comes, an outlet for you to be able to get rid of the excess merchandise that you have.
Okay.
Off-price is more geared into going and collecting whatever is remaining or to remain. Even we commit on things for the future. That, we go and sign contracts. Okay, whatever is going to stay there at your shelves, you're going to pick up everything and we're going to liquidate it and we're going to buy it at this price from today.
Wow.
And we sign contracts for the future.
So going back to starting off in the garage with $10,000 only, how did you do that? So how did you bring the merchandise? Did you actually travel? Like, was it as simple as carrying it in our suitcases and trying to bring it back? Or did you have like a plan in place? How did it start?
At the beginning, when you start and you have your limited resources, things are done a little bit haphazardly at the beginning. And, it's our journey in business life is learning every single day new things.
Right.
And we keep learning until today, and we will keep learning until the last day in our life on this planet. So, and especially, at the beginning, communication was much more difficult. Travel was much more complicated. I remember my first trip to the States looking for supplier. There was no Google Maps.
Of course.
I had to have a real physical map.
Yeah.
It took me, I was going from New York to Philadelphia for a meeting. It took me literally 2 days to reach this warehouse of the supplier. And, it was much more difficult at the beginning.
My goodness. Yeah.
So we started with buying from small quantities with wholesalers, sacrificing more on the profit margin just for us to be able to put our hand on the product and to build our reputation as a destination. And it was a difficult journey, but beautiful, difficult journey, especially when we look back today and we see what we have really accomplished in terms of progress, in terms of A to Z. I can talk for hours about it, but, I'm going to keep it short. Today, the start is very important. You have to start with the resources that you have in your hand, which were not much. So we started with wholesalers at the beginning, and you grow with time, and you build more reputation, you build more capital. The most important thing is whatever you make from the business, you put it back to business.
In the business, right. It feeds into it so that you help it grow. It's sort of like a baby. You keep giving it until it grows into what you aspire it to be. Okay, so you said something interesting about BFL standing for Best Friends for Life.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Best Friends for Life.
Yes.
How did you manage that? That is a tough equation. That on its own is a success story. Other than the fact that the business grew, they always say, there's a saying in Arabic. They say the person that you love, do not sign a partnership with or get into family matters with. It's like a saying. It's like a colloquial saying. But how did you make that happen? That is very tough.
To be very frank with you, friendship was not a result of the business, but business was a result of the friendship. So the issue is that sometimes, at the end of the day, there is luck. And sometimes you get lucky with the closest people to you, and sometimes you get unlucky with the closest people to you.
Exactly.
And the character between me and my partner is extremely complementary, whereby whatever is missing in me, he complements, and vice versa. So the strength that was really produced by this friendship was unbreakable in terms of, executing our plans and putting our targets and reaching our targets.
Right.
So if you have a winning horse, you stick to it.
Of course.
And he sticks to me and I stick to him. And, we enjoy every single day together. Even my kids, they tell me, Dad, you are so lucky. You get to go and spend the whole day working with your best friend,
Yes.
which is something for them. This is something very cool.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And it doesn't always work, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
Sometimes it becomes a failed equation.
Yeah.
And to be honest, that is a success story on its own. So I applaud you again for that, because
Thank you.
Because you have to go into a business with the same vision. I think that's also another thing. Do you feel that that's the case, that sometimes partnerships fail because each person has a different vision, they have a different goal, so maybe you guys were aligned? Or do you feel like, no, it was just we complemented each other, we knew what we were doing?
We share common values, and I think this is the most important thing.
Okay.
And we share common ethics. And the rest is small details.
Okay.
Even the business plan, even the type of business, even whatever you want to put as option, possibility, etc., is detail.
Okay.
Once you are synchronized on these two things, you're unbreakable.
Precisely. Okay. Going back to your kids, because you mentioned your kids.
Yeah.
How many kids do you have?
I have 4.
Amazing.
2 boys, 2 girls.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's actually nice. It's even.
Yeah.
Tell me, what in your childhood did you want to avoid with your kids, and what did you want to achieve with your kids and keep? So let's say there were certain values growing up that you absolutely loved and you were thankful to have, that you wanted to pass on to your kids, and what were certain things that you wanted to maybe avoid doing with your kids, or avoid from happening to your kids?
In my childhood, because of the difficult situation that I've been through on a country level and on a family level, I had a lot of insecurities on all levels. So the first thing that I planned for my children is to really, at that time, my objective was to delete the insecurities in their life. Today, things start changing. You don't want the over-security to take effect.
Right.
If you really care about your children, you have to keep a very small insecurity level in terms of, I'm talking about financial here. I'm not talking about love, emotions. I'm not talking about these things. I'm talking about financials. For you to make sure that they will stand on their feet, that they will look into life, how life it is, and not only from their angle, and look to other people and look around them and know that they are there for a reason. There is a purpose for us to be existing here. It's not only us. It's our community, it's our society, it's the people who are less fortunate, you know. And I always try to remind them that, we started from scratch. We started from zero. Always keep this in their mind.
Yes. Amazing. Okay, so starting from scratch, starting from zero, back to the business. Can you tell us, after Lebanon, what happened next?
My partner stayed in Lebanon. Actually, it's a little bit complicated because I graduated. I went the first year to Saudi Arabia. My partner was still in university. I went to Saudi Arabia for 1 year. And then I moved to the UAE.
Okay.
And when I say I moved, it's all employment, different
Of
employment.
course. Yeah.
And he graduated in Beirut, started working in Beirut. And a company that was here took me as a general manager for Lebanon. And so I was between Dubai and Lebanon. So I went to Lebanon. And we started this first store in 1996 on the side. It was not a full-time thing.
Right.
So we started on the side, underground parking. And in a year 2000, I was moved back by the same company to Dubai, whereby I resigned. Actually, I took a loan, personal loan from HSBC of $40,000, which is 150,000 dirham. Put my resignation and went and opened the first store, all in.
Wow.
My partner was in Beirut. We had at that time 3 small branches there. I started the first store here.
Okay.
And
where was it?
It was in Deira, Al Bakhit.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it was a 90 square meter store.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Fantastic. And then after that, how did you start expanding? So,
It was very difficult. I remember it took me 1 year to hire the first employee. So I used to clean the store. I used to do the cashier. I used to go to the warehouse. I used to prepare everything by myself. It was a one-man show. And then 1 year after that, I was very happy to hire the first employee. So she used to clean the store. She used to do some sales, etc. And, always think of reinvesting everything back to the business.
Right.
So, I had to go through difficult times at the beginning, because for you to be able to achieve that, you have to go through a real strong frugality process. And, I remember very well I was not able to achieve what today you hear on the social media of work-life balance, because does not exist for startups, trust me. So I was dedicating most of my time to work. Even I remember my first 2 children getting born and growing, and I had 0 time to spend with them.
Yeah.
So if you reinvest all your time, you reinvest all your money back into your business, you concentrate, you keep focused, perseverance, I think at the end of the day, growth will follow.
As a byproduct.
Yeah.
So in terms of difficulties and challenges, what were some of those that you faced? Did people put you down? Did people tell you, like, this will never succeed? Or did you get discouragement from people? Was that something you faced?
Of course.
Okay.
Because, I was a university graduate. It's not like I had no education. So, at that time, or most of the countries, you used to finish your university and then you start applying for jobs. And there was, Dubai has been a very good place to, or a destination for job seekers who are fresh graduates, even at that time.
Of course, yes.
So, of course, I have all my friends who studied with me in the same university, going and landing good jobs with multinationals, etc. And, me going and opening this 90 square meter store, cleaning the store and sitting behind the cash register and having no enough capital to really foresee what's going to happen next year. So, of course, lots of people come discourage you. But, if you are focused, at the end of the day, today, I give you an example. Today, I'm in my 50s. Even people who took the employment and became high management, today, you see them not very comfortable in their life because there's a lot of worry. What's going to happen? They're going to replace me. They're going to get someone cheaper, etc.
Exactly.
Thanks God, when you go the path of being an entrepreneur and doing your own thing, it's at the beginning, you're so much under pressure. But later on, when you get little bit weaker in terms of physically, because, we're human beings.
Of course.
And you really don't need the pressure at this age. At that time, you have the upper hand.
Okay. So going back to the Deira shop, does it still exist?
We try to keep it as long as possible.
Okay.
I shut down the store when we had no option to keep it open, because what happened there, Dubai keeps on expanding and changing in terms of infrastructure, and the store had a zero chance of parking around it. So it was more of a suffering for the customer to come. And we had to close it, I think, like 7-8 years ago.
Okay. It's lovely that you mentioned the UAE and, forever developing and always, seeking to be better and to offer better services to entrepreneurs, to businessmen,
Yes.
to employees, to residents, to everyone. Tell me about the UAE and how it contributed to your success.
United Arab Emirates is my country, is the country of my children. And it's not only for me. I tell people or entrepreneurs or fresh graduates from all around the world who want to pursue a dream.
Yeah.
This is the land of opportunity. Forget what you hear about the US and here and there. This is the real land of opportunity today. You have the first class infrastructure. You have the most supportive rulers around the world sitting and really dedicating their life and their time how to serve people, how to serve the youth, how to serve entrepreneurs, how to serve businesses. Everything is built around businesses. Everything is built around success. You are here, the opportunity that you have around you, the networking is really first class.
Yes.
Everything is first class. So I would encourage people who really want to pursue a dream. This is the best place to come and start your dream.
I couldn't agree more. And I think we spoke about this when we met the other day and how, I have so many members of my family who've started businesses here, and it is the hub. It does nurture these businessmen who want to achieve their dreams. And
not only this, it became a home.
It became
also,
home, exactly.
And this was the transformation of this beautiful country into moving from only a business contract place that you go serve 2 years or 3 years and you leave, into really becoming a home. It's today one of the safest places on the globe. It's one of the most modern infrastructure on the globe. And it's really amazing to live in this country.
I don't know about you. I'm sure you feel the same way because we did discuss this. But I never felt like an outsider. I never felt
you will never ever feel.
And I never will. And I know that for a fact. I was practically born and raised here, and that's the one thing I tell everyone. People who haven't been to Dubai or ask me about Dubai, I never felt like it was not my home. So definitely. Okay, Toufic, you the other day when we met, you spoke to me about Saudi. Tell us a bit more about that. That's an exciting step for BFL.
Saudi Arabia is, of course, our neighbor. And Saudi Arabia is one of the largest markets in terms of, in the GCC, in terms of population and size.
Right.
And Saudi Arabia is really witnessing a huge change in terms of infrastructure, in terms of business environment, in terms of rules, regulation to facilitate imports, etc. And of course, after UAE, the best place to move into your expansion is Saudi Arabia, because the country is so big whereby you can really dedicate a separate logistics center that you can put there to cater for the growth.
Right.
So lately we have entered all of the GCC countries, and Saudi Arabia was the biggest move, of course, because it will take the maximum number of stores in terms of, in comparison. We already established in Kuwait, we established in Qatar, we established in Bahrain now. We're opening the first store in Bahrain, Oman, and of course our UAE, which is our headquarters. So Saudi is our focus now. We started less than a year ago. We opened our first 19 stores now. We will finish this year by 27 stores. And we're planning at least 77 stores in Saudi Arabia in the coming few years. Yes.
Fantastic.
Yes.
All the best.
I just returned from Saudi Arabia. We just signed a big deal we just acquired a land in Saudi Arabia to build our fully automated warehouses
Wow.
on 38,500 square meter land.
Okay.
So it's going to be like a state-of-the-art facility.
So by fully automated, you mean like robots and computerized,
Yes,
basically?
whatever we have made here in UAE, we're going to copy another facility in Saudi Arabia.
Nice, fantastic. Okay, so you spoke about expansion in the GCC, but do you have any plans for the rest of the Arab world
Yes,
beyond
of course,
that?
of course.
Yeah.
But the only issue here in the different countries, you have different rules, different regulations, different laws.
Yes.
So we try to always, we have international department that's sitting and trying to crack the codes of the different countries.
Of course.
Our objective is to go from, we went from local to regional, and now we're going to go from regional to global player.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, I wanted you to paint the picture that you painted to me when we sat down. When you were talking about the UAE being home, why is it home to you? You told me about your family.
It's the country. Tell you something. All my family, all the members of the family are living now in the United Arab Emirates. I told you we meet on Sundays lunch.
Yeah.
We are around 19 people. 19 people, sisters, brothers, nieces, nephews, grandchildren, etc. And when the main connection to each and every person is his mother.
Yes.
And my mother, she moved herself to Dubai, and and my kids were born in Dubai. So at the end of the day, this is my country.
Your roots are basically
My roots are
yeah.
Dubai now.
Now, okay. My last question, and then I will
Yes.
let you off the hook. I
Yes.
love that you're still smiling, even
Yes.
though I've asked you so many questions.
No, go ahead. No problem.
What's next for Toufic, and what's next for BFL?
Next for BFL, I just told you we want to move from
Right.
regional to global.
Right.
What's next for Toufic is to really make sure that and to cement the management team who are today spearheading the business, to be very frank with you. We are only there as partners to really just give them a little bit of guidance, advice, etc. But we let them do the whole management. So I'm very proud of the management team that has been created in BFL. And my target today is to cement this team, to give them as much as resources that I can provide them, to really make them achieve the objectives that they are looking for. And a little bit step back from day-to-day management and really concentrate on giving back to society. This is philanthropy is one of the basic objectives that we have created this business for. And now it's time to really give more time to these activities.
That's beautiful. Is there anything else you'd like to add on anything we spoke about?
Thank you so much. I want to give advice to the young entrepreneurs. Please believe in what you are doing. If it makes sense and you are convinced that it makes sense, I mean, from a feasibility point of view, don't let anyone to put you down. Just perseverance, perseverance, perseverance.